ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all. We are deliberating on the verses from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are looking at chapter number 10, Dashamodhyayah. The name of this chapter is Vibhuti Yoga. In the last class, we had seen this verse number 3. Yo mam ajamanadim cha vetti lokamaheshwaram asammudha samarteshu sarvapapaihi pramuchyate. So, here, as the 9th chapter concluded, and we see that how jnana, the knowledge, is transformed into bhakti. Knowing the nature of the divine in its unmanifested form, which is nirguna nirakara, there is also the aspect of the divine which is saguna nirakara. And this saguna nirakara manifests, this Ishvara, it manifests itself into various ways. And though every manifestation, every particle of this creation is that divine only, but it is especially palpitable in some specific form, and they are known as vibhutis. So this is continuous meditation on these different manifestations, these vibhutis of the Ishvara. Here in the 3rd verse, Bhagavan is saying that the one whosoever vetti means knows me, mam ajamanadim, so ajam anadim. So not born and without beginning. Anadim, ajam. Ajam means which is not born. And also the lokam, loka maheshwaram. Loka maheshwara is Ishvara, the one who rules over the jivas, that is Ishvara. So this concept I have explained to you earlier, that whenever we speak about the Ishvara, jiva automatically comes in. So as soon as there is concept, there is the idea of Ishvara, there is the idea of jiva also. So the Ishvara, the one who rules over whom? Jivas. Ishvara is also, Swami Vivekananda says, that is samasti of all jivas, that is Ishvara. This Ishvara has the will, it has the power, it is omnipresent, omnipotent. He is Ishvara, he is also that principle, Ajam Anadim. When we say Ajam Anadim, what is that? Then it is that Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. Okay? It is not born. So not born means it is not product of two things, two elements. So it is not a compound, it is simple, one, homogeneous. So when it is one and it is not born out of anything, then it can be one and only existence. That's why it is infinite also. Anadim, because it does not begin, it is not born, it does not, nothing precedes before it, so therefore it does not end. When we say Anadi, therefore it also implies that it is Ananta also. So this Ajam Anadim, and he is Loka Maheshwaram also. And the people who, the person or a devotee who knows him thus, what will happen? Bhagavan says that person is asammudha. That person does not have any moha. And he says a great promise he makes, that though living in the mortals, marteshu sarva papaihi pramuchyate, that he will be freed absolutely of all papas. All papa karmas are their fruits. What is the meaning of this? Meaning that why this word is said, that marteshu, though living in the mortal, living amongst the mortals, living on this earth, being born as mortal. So this is imperfection, and one cannot be free of imperfection, howsoever one may try it. This is one thing. Sri Ramakrishna had said that however intelligent one may be. So if he enters in a room full of soot, then he cannot escape untainted by it. So some spot will be left on his person, meaning that in this world there is no work which is absolutely pure or absolutely impure. So by the nature of the law, you would be working, and when you would be working, there would be some, knowingly or unknowingly, some sins would be acquired, some papas. So though unintentionally, some things will happen. This is how the nature of this creation is. You cannot escape it. So that's why Bhagavan says, though you are here and it is impossible to escape from committing any sins or becoming free of any sins, he says, one who knows me thus, one who knows me tattvataha, then what will happen? He will be freed of all sins, knowingly, intentionally or unintentionally committed by him. So now Bhagavan, he is explaining that who I am. So this Saguna Nirakara Brahman Ishvara, how does it manifest? In various ways. And the meaning is, when now we will see here in this next 4th and 5th verse. He is mentioning certain qualities. So what does it mean? It means that whenever these qualities manifest, it is manifestation of that Brahman. That I am, my ego is reducing down, and the light of that Brahman is shining more and more. So these are the qualities which are the earmarking, which are signifying the presence of that divine light more and more into the being of that individual. So these qualities here you will see in the until the 18th chapter, you will see again and again emphasized. So these qualities become therefore guideline for us how to live our life, how to truly imbibe these qualities which are rooted in the spirituality itself. They are not just superficial behavior. They are not superficial behavior. So superficial behavior does not imply spirituality. These qualities, when they are rooted, connected to your spiritual soul and manifestation of that spirituality, then only these qualities truly become virtue. So, what are these things? So, Bhagavan says, Buddhir Jnanam Asammoha Kshama Satyam Dama Shamah Sukham Dukkham Bhavo Abhavo Bhayam Cha Bhayam Evacha Ahimsa Samata Tushti Tapodanam Yasho Yashah Bhavanti Bhava Bhutanam Matta Eva Pruthak Vidhaha. So, this, he says, these different bhavas, these different states of the mind, these different occurrences and conduct and behavior, they occur, they are born, bhavanti, they come out of me, bhutanam, in the individuals, in the beings, and matta eva pruthak vidhaha. Though they are different, pruthak vidhaha, they come from me only, matta eva, know it for certain, that these all things happen due to me. So, the manifestation of buddhi, the intelligence, this happened due to me. That when Atman manifests, so there is occurrence of intelligence. When Atman is not manifested, then the person is dumb. He is a Buddha. He is not intelligent. He cannot decide over the things. He cannot see things clearly. And next he say buddhi, and then he say asammoha. Sammoha or moha in Sanskrit means having the opposite knowledge. So taking one thing granted for something which is exactly of opposite nature of that thing. If you think fire as something cold like ice, exactly opposite. Fire has the burning power and ice is very cold. So if you are having such knowledge, then it would be called as moha. It is the lakshana of tamasa. Buddhi is lakshana of sattva, and that is moha. Sammoha is complete absorption of this moha. Now, in what degree we are having moha, that might differ. Sammoha is absolute delusion, going 180 degree. That is sammoha. That he as if leaves no scope, that he has completely shut down all the doors of having any possibility of crack into that moha, into that delusion. So whenever people say that you do not have to make me understand, I know everything. So once having a wrong knowledge and then shutting all doors over it, a recipe for complete disaster. So sammoha, and here word is used asammoha. So that person has gotten rid of sammoha. that he is not having some moha, he is having clear vision, clear understanding. So buddhi and asammoha, that is here first sattva is said and then it is said the absence of tamas. Absence of tamas. Buddhi asammoha and buddhir jnanam asammoha. Buddhi, that jnana, knowledge. So this is another faculty. So what is difference between buddhi and jnana? So whenever you have buddhi, you are supposed to have jnana. It is possible. But still there is a stage, there is a component involved. Without that, you cannot have your buddhi. If it is in sattva only, you have jnana. In rajasa, you have confusion, and in tamasa, you have moha. So buddhi, jnana, and that's why asammoha. So you do not have tamas, and therefore you have jnana, you have buddhi. So all three things are in their perfect condition. So there is nothing now hindering towards the right knowledge. So many times we have data in front of us, but we are not able to infer correctly, and therefore you do not have jnana. You do not understand it. So whenever there is a manifestation, moha happens due to ignorance. Moha happens due to ignorance. What is the primordial ignorance? Primordial ignorance is I am body. I am body, mind, complex. I am jiva. This is the ignorance. I am separate. This is the ignorance. I am exclusive, separate from everything else. That is ignorance. What is the truth? The truth is one undivided consciousness. It is not material. It is immutable and infinite. That is the truth. This identity is the illusion. Having clear understanding about this is knowledge. Having messed this up is ignorance. So once you consider yourself something other than truth, other than consciousness, other than Atman, Brahman, and you consider yourself body, mind, and this becomes true, this becomes real, then everything which ensues from it is real. So this world is real, our blood relations are real, and everything becomes real, and you naturally there is a desire now to protect its self-interest. They are called as yoga and kshema. Upon this illusion, upon this ignorance, more ignorance is piled up. Because body is true, now whole sansara is true, and to protect your self-interest in the sansara becomes true. And this is ignorance upon ignorance. And if this is the case, then you will have the taste of the world in the form of happiness and bitterness. And they are binding to the world. As there are desires, there would be karma. Karma would eventually give rise to the karma phala. When there is karma phala, you are bound by them to enjoy or suffer. So they will never set you free. They will never let you progress towards the spiritual illumination, liberation, mukti or moksha or atma jnana. So therefore, as Bhagavan said, the one who knows me, ajam anadim, loka maheshwaram, that this is the truth, it is the will of God. By His will everything happens. This brings in surrender, this brings in devotion, and this brings in the sense of detachment and vairagya in us. So what we are supposed to infer with this buddhi, jnana and the passing away of this sammoha, what is going to come? This vairagya has to come, that this is not the ultimate truth. This is just for the context. This is just for the time being. This is passing. This is ephemeral. This is transitory. And you do not try to cling to it. You try to let it go. You let your hold loose on these things. This is called as wisdom. So buddhi, jnana, asammoha. When these things come, what will happen? Kshama. Kshama will come. Forgiveness, not only to everybody else, that whosoever deals with you fairly or unfairly, that eternal forgiveness, this compassion that will come. The person who would be able to forgive to others as well as to himself, because you are also driven by the Prakriti. You are also not perfect. You will also be committing mistakes, errors, wrongdoings that will happen. But you do not attach yourself to them due to this buddhi, jnana, asammoha. That you do not have now sammoha, you do not have this illusion. That's how this forgiveness is coming forth from your divine nature. It is not pretense, it is not acting. So it is dwelling in that spirit, it is dwelling in the Chaitanya, it is banking upon that. It is being rooted into that divinity, into that spirituality, that is Kshama. That you do not take offense, you know that all beings are driven by their nature. Kshama. This helps you. Then the next idea is Satya. This helps you to remain in tune with or nearer to or oriented towards this Satya, this truth, the ultimate truth, Satya. And then Dhamma and Shama. So once these austerities are done, so what becomes possible is Indriya Nigraha, that is called as Dhamma. That when you lose this interest of happiness and pleasure into the material, your ability to control your senses will increase. It will truly come from within you. You will be able to tame down your senses. Whatever will come across, you will not be provoked, incited by it. That is Dhamma. Then, if that is done, the next thing is Shama, the control of mind, the quietude of mind, the calmness of your mind, the stillness of your mind. So your mind, therefore, if these austerities are done, if you are established in buddhi, jnana, asammoha, and you are practicing Shama and Satyam, so Dhamma and Shama will be possible. So with Shama, your mind will not get ruffled all the time, because you would be oriented towards the truth, towards the Atman, towards the Chaitanya, and you are not carried away by the fluctuations in the material plane. That is Shama. So whenever God is manifesting, so it would manifest into the individual through these different qualities in this way. Kshama, Satyam, Dhamma, Shama. Then what happens? That different experiences of the world, Sukha and Dukkha, Bhava and Abhava. So there is birth and death, or there is gain and loss, there is happiness and there is misery, there is then fear and fearlessness. In all these stages, when these things happen, you will remain steady because your buddhi, jnana, asammoha, and your Kshama, Satyam, Dhamma, Shama. So these things will not be able to provocate any undue reaction. They will not shake you violently as they would have when this would not be happening. So this is the meaning, buddhir jnanam asammoha kshama satyam dama shama. In which situation? In all situations of sukha dukkha, bhava abhava and bhaya abhaya. So when there is abhaya, what is there? So you are trained to become, when there is no pressure, when there is no threat, you train to become less alert. That will not happen. Inadvertence will not happen. When you are bhaya, you are not panicking. When there is a loss, you are not grieving. And when there is gain, you are not unduly elated. When there is a sukha, you are not unnecessarily proud. Or when there is dukkha, you are not unnecessarily miserable or dejected, disappointed. So when you are oriented toward this spiritual truth, the fluctuations on the material plane will not be able to shake you that badly, as you will gain this progress slowly, grain by grain, bit by bit. So this will happen. So this is the journey to be lived. This is something. So this nature, this change we have to bring in slowly, gradually, wheresoever we might be. So if we are progressing in that direction, this is supposed to happen. But nonetheless, your steadiness, it must be rooted in the spirituality, in the divine. That is the important factor. It is not stoicism. It is not just mental strength of yours that you remain unperturbed in sukha dukkha, bhava bhava and bhaya abhaya. It is not stoicism. That is the important point. So then the next verse says, also what will happen? Ahimsa samata tushti tapa danam yasho yashaha. So whether you get success or you become failure, so still you remain steady, and these virtues will be still manifest, named as ahimsa. That you do not become hurtful towards anyone. We generally what? That is our nature. If something, these kinds of things come, we try to blame someone. We become dejected, disappointed. So ahimsa. So ahimsa, and therefore how it is? Samata. Samata. Where this samata comes from? This samata, because there is a variation in the world, samata lies within. So you treat these things equally. You are not too much carried away by these differences, by these changes. Your samata is rooted in the unchangeful nature of yourself, of your divine. Ahimsa samata, and therefore tushti. That when you do not have such expectations, when you are not demanding something from the world, desiring something from the world, then if something goes one way or other, you will not be perturbed. That's why this tushti is deeply situated, rooted in this spiritual nature of the divine, spiritual nature of yourself. Ahimsa samata tushti tapah danam yasho yashaha. This tapa, this is the austerity. This is the tapa. So it never, that individual at the same time saying I am very spiritual, would be indulging into sense pleasures, undue sense pleasures. His mind will be always oriented towards the divine, oriented within. Tapa, this is called tapaha. Danam, that person is of the charitable nature. That whatever the context, whatever the situation, accordingly he has this attitude of giving to others, regardless of yasha and apayasha. So this is very high stage if an individual he sees in his life. Bhagavan says, whenever these things are manifesting, here I am, the God is manifesting. So these are divine virtues. Bhagavan says, know that though they appear differently, they come from me only and they are born out of me. Born out of me means they come from when the soul manifests, when this ignorance is dispelled, when Atman manifests, they manifest. It is the manifestation of Ishvara itself. Therefore, they are said to be born out of God only, born out of Ishvara only. Bhavanti bhava bhutanam. In bhutas, in individuals, in the beings, in jivas, when we see the manifestation of these virtues, you know the God is present there, God is manifesting. So this is in this way on individual plane when the vibhuti of Bhagavan, when Bhagavan is manifesting, these are the vibhutis. When these things are there, we know for certain that God is present there. God is manifesting. The divine blessings of the Lord are pouring over that individual through that individual. Then he is saying few things. Now what does he say in this 6th verse? Maharshaya saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imaha prajaha. So he says, these Sapta Rishis, Maharshis, the great sages, as well as 4 Manuds, Manavaha, that is 4 Manuds, of 4 Yugas. So, all these people, they are born out of me, Mad Bhava, they are having my Bhava, my nature. And they are born out of my mind. So my will, he is Ishvara, by his Sankalpa, all creation has come into existence. So even if we just take this physically, like any scientist or physicist, astrophysicist, they would like to say it, they would not like to, impose anthropomorphical superimposition on this, like there is a God and then he's saying like that. So first thing is very easy to understand. When there is these qualities are manifesting, then definitely it is the divine manifestation, that is easier to understand. Now Bhagavan, when he says there were these 7 great sages and 4 Manuds, and they were born out of my mind by my will, and they had my divine nature, and from them all these praja, all these creatures, they have come out of me, out of them, from them all these other human beings have come, etc., etc. So even for an individual, so who is not, so to say, deistic or theist, believing in God, a personal God, and with such powers and attributes, even for such a person, just to imagine, just to contemplate this idea of the creation in such personified poetical form, it is still grand. Even if he or she, such a person, does not take these things literally, even just to appreciate the poetry of it, that how this creation has come into manifestation, that there is a primordial power, and he says out of that it wills that there comes the 7 sages and the people who would lead and who would create all these different people. So in this way also one can see it. So there is no problem. So here Bhagavan says that these people, they are born with the impression of his nature, the fraction of his nature. They derived their nature from him, and they are born out of his mind, out of his will. That Bhagavan willed that let these Saptarshis be created, let these Manus be created, let them create the whole mass of population, let the creation be begin. And this is what Bhagavan is saying, that I am that divine, by whose blessing, by whose grace, and by whose presence, and by whose will everything has come into manifestation. Then Bhagavan says that etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tatvatha, that one here means one who knows these different vibhutis and this yoga means this spirituality. Yoga always means spirituality. Yoga does not mean anything material. Yoga always means spirituality. Meaning of yoga is spirituality. That especially it says something that when yoga is Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he explains yoga as path to realize that Atman or that Brahmatmakya. So that divine illumination. So yoga is always bridging two things. So when we say yoga, when I say spirituality, so spirituality means there are two things. One, the real, and one, the spirit itself, the ideal. So what is other thing? Here other thing is now creation, the karma. And what is Bhagavan's yoga? So though he is divine, though he is unmanifested, Nirgun Nirakar, Ajopi san Avyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaropi san Prakrutim Swam Adhisthaya Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. Again and again this 6th verse of 4th chapter is to be remembered. So it is always the nature of Bhagavan. This is his Yoga Maya, that with his Yoga Maya he is letting manifest everything. He has become Ishvara, and this Ishvara, this is Ishvara's creation. Let this be Saptarshis, let there be Manus, let there be Prajats, let there be different Gunas, and let there be creation. So these are Vibhutis, and this is Yoga of Bhagavan. So etam Vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tatvatha, the one who knows it in Tattva. What is that Tattva? So you are not carried away by the superficial manifestation of it. So Bhagavan, whenever he is talking, all the time from the 7th chapter, Bhagavan is, whenever he says, he comes with a clause. Whenever he says this, whenever he talks about the manifestation, he comes with a clause. Remember Arjuna. So do not be mistaken, I have not become this. I have not become this. Whenever he says, he immediately comes with a clause. He always is afraid that Arjuna will mistake that I have become that. So do not be mistaken. So that's why here also again Bhagavan is saying, Mama yo vetti tatvatah, that I am always that principle. So what will happen? Then you will not get lost into these vibhutis or this Maya Aishwarya. You will not get lost. What is this Aishwarya? In this, if you are get lost, then what you will think? That I am such and such big person, I am such very intelligent person, I am very famous person, I am very powerful person, I am very wealthy person, etc. etc. This is mine, that is mine, this is my enemy, this is my good friend. You will get lost into it. This will happen. If you know Tattvata, what will happen? Then you will always know that this is Bhavanti Bhava Bhutanam Matta Eva Pruthagvida. This different manifestation of the divine. So it is the divine only that is important, not the different manifestation. So like that honey bee which jumps from flower to flower, it is only interested in the pollens, in the nectar which is situated in the flower. It doesn't pay attention to the flower. It is only focused on its interest. What is your interest? What is that nectar? That nectar is spirituality. That Chaitanya only. So, Sukha Dukkha, Bhava Abhava, Bhaya Abhaya and Yasho Yasha, these things will happen. That is the nature of the creation. This will happen. There is no question about it. But the person who is oriented towards this truth, what will have? His buddhi, jnana, asammoha, this will be steady. Due to that, what will happen? He will be able to practice kshama, satya, dama, shama, ahimsa, samata, tushti, tapa, dana. This will happen. So, if these things are happening, we can be sure, we can be certain that this person is properly oriented, properly rooted and properly situated in the spirituality. So Bhagwan, that's what he says, etam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo vetti tattvata. What will happen? So avikampena yogena yujjate natra samshayah. So that person will be yujjate, he will be unified with the truth, with me, with in this divine yoga through the form of, through this, by the means of divine yoga. There is no doubt. Another adjective he used, so avikampena yogena. This yoga, what adjective is used? Avikampena, which has become steady. There is no kampa, there is no vibration, there is no shaking. It has become rock solid. So such is the yoga, and that with the help of such yoga, with the help of such meditation, with the help of such perfect orientation and rooted, situatedness in the truth, this person will be unified, this person will attain the highest truth. That's what Bhagwan says. So this is the 7th verse. So we will take break here, and next Sunday, that is, what is date? 17th. So 17th there will not be class, because there is another lecture by Dr. Ram Subramanyam. He is a very well-known philosopher, teacher, very saintly person. He is professor in IIT. He would be delivering 2 talks on Vedanta on Saturday and Sunday, 16th and 17th. And then 17th, then there would be 23rd. 23rd there would be class. 23rd is Ekadashi. Acha, 23rd there. So next Sunday is 24th. So 24th there is a Christmas Eve in the evening. So I will take class on that day, because evening there is nothing such. After that, after evening prayer. So 24th, 31st also I will take class. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.